promised you I was going to come back and do a video to just share with you my after hysterectomy surgery, so post-op, just what I experienced and what that experience was like for me. I do want to start off by saying that I had a very, very successful surgery, and I say that because I remember before my surgery, I remember flipping through videos and just like looking like, I don't want to hear anything negative, nothing negative, nothing negative. I was looking for all positivity. So I start off by saying that if you want to hear about a successful surgery, I'm your girl. If you are getting ready to go into this surgery, do not be afraid, because I'm going to tell you to say a prayer before you go in, just for your own peace of mind. Believe it in God's hands, and just know that you are about to get some of the best sleep that you have probably ever gotten, unless you've had surgery before. I had not. So it was a very successful surgery. Coming out of the hospital, I was able to come home on the same day as they had planned. Of course, they tell you if for some reason, if you have to stay, that would be a reason that you have to stay, but that was not the case. So as soon as surgery was over, they put me in the recovery room, and then they woke me up, and I remember asking the nurse what time it was, and she told me that it was like 1:30, I believe. And so I just remember saying to myself, oh, like 2 hours has gone by. I was just trying to figure, like, how long have I been asleep? And so, she quickly was trying to get me together, and I was so groggy. And I remember her asking me if I was nauseous, and I said yes. So that was probably like the worst part of it for me. And I mean, my goodness, if that's the worst thing that anybody has to deal with, it's like, that's great. It's just being nauseous. Nauseous can be bad, but I mean, there are so many other things that could go wrong, that if nausea is all that, you have to deal with, and that I had to deal with, it's like, we're good, I'll take it. So I remember her asking me if I was nauseous. I said yes, and she said, well, let me give you a pill for nausea, and she did. And it was like, as soon as she gave it to me, it was almost like it was worse. I couldn't even keep my eyes open. Like, I just remember keeping my head down and just trying to do everything. I remember her helping me get my pants on. She asked me if I could go to the bathroom, because they want you to pee if you can before you leave. And so I couldn't go to the bathroom by myself, because I was just so nauseous and just so like woozy. And of course it's from the anesthesia, So she helped me to the bathroom, and she told me to knock on the door once I was, done. And so I sat in there for a little bit, but I didn't have to pee. And so I came out. She helped me finish getting dressed, and put me in the wheelchair and rolled me out. And the whole time I just kept my head down. Because I couldn't look up. I remember one of the nurses talking to me, and I was just like, I just want to go home. I just wanted my bed. And I had like an hour and a half drive to get home, or ride to get home. Because you ain't driving yourself nowhere that day. You ain't driving. And they're not going to let you leave if you don't have somebody to drive you home. You can't. There's no way. So anyway, we get outside, they wheel me out, and my husband and my daughters were with me. So, we get in the car, we all leave. I will tell you that one of the things that I have on my list that is probably going to be very beneficial to you is a seatbelt cushion, and they sell them on Amazon. And all it is, it's like a little cushion that goes across the bottom part of the seatbelt, and it's to cushion you so that when you get in the car, you're not, feeling every bump and whatever as you're driving. Now, you still are probably going to feel some in the beginning, but it does help. So I would say a seatbelt cushion is a must. I am almost now like 11 weeks post-op, and I still like to put my little cushion on just because it just feels good, So it's something that it's not going to hurt to use it, but it definitely helps to have it. the car ride home was very uncomfortable. So just be prepared to not want to be in the car very long. You want to make sure that whoever's taking you home is going to be able to take you straight home, because all you are going to want after your surgery is your bed, your nice, comfy, clean bed. And so just make sure that, just whoever it is, just make sure that you're going straight home, because I was even fearful of being in the car because, you're very sore. You're very sore after surgery. I mean, very sore, which is to be expected. And you do have pain medication that you'll be taking, so that is going to help with your pain, and all of that. But it was just very uncomfortable being in the car. And I just remembered even praying, God, please don't let anything happen. Don't let us get hit, because I just the thought of it just made me very nervous. So I couldn't wait to get home. And we had to go by the drugstore and pick up some of my medicine. And I'm like, oh my gosh, can we just go home, So we finally made it home. And I got into bed. So I was able to pee that night about 7 o'clock. And I was so thankful, because the nurse had told me before I left, she said, if you're not able to pee by 9 o'clock tonight, then you'll have to go to the emergency room close to you. Because now I lived an hour and a half away from the hospital where I had my surgery. But she was like, if you can't pee, then you'll have to go to the hospital close to you. And I'm like, I'm going to be able to pee. And I was able to do that at about 7 o'clock that night. And I was like, everything's all right with the world, even though I could barely move. My husband had to help me to the bathroom. He had to help me sit on the toilet. He had to help me get up off of the toilet. He had to help me back into the bed. And it was like every move that I made, it was like, ow, ow, ow. But at the same time, you're like, but I'm here. I'm thankful to be home. I'm thankful that the surgery was successful and I'm okay. So I can deal with the healing process. Know that the healing is going to be, it's a little bit of a process, but that's with any surgery. Another thing that I would tell you to have on hand is Gas-X, because after the surgery, there is the air that they put in you, however they do that while you're asleep, so that they can see what they need to see. That air, I guess it like moves. I don't know, but I mean, it hurts. It really does hurt. So after I guess it was like the next day for me, maybe a couple of days into it, my shoulders started hurting. They just felt very, I don't even know. It was just a very, very uncomfortable feeling. And so Gas-X does help with that. It just helps to relieve that feeling. So definitely have you about a box of Gas-X on hand. Something else that was definitely beneficial for me was prune juice, because after your surgery, your bowels slow down. They don't want to work like they normally do, and you are most likely will be very constipated. It's kind of like waking your system up again and getting it to do what it's supposed to do. And so for me, prune juice was it was a lifesaver, because I just remember sitting on the toilet, not to give you TMI, but just sitting on the toilet and just remember just thinking to myself, I just need to have a bowel movement. I just need to move my bowels. I just need to move my bowels. And so prune juice was very, very beneficial to me. And then something else that I just thought of to do was to make, and it didn't taste very good, but it worked, was to take hot tea, hot tea, whatever kind of tea you want, and put some prune juice in it. So I had hot tea, and prune juice at the same time. So it was like it was warm. I'm going to tell you, that worked. It moved my bowels. It got me moving. And, and it feels good when you know that you got your body working like it's supposed to. So I would definitely say hot tea of your choice. The hot tea on its own is just soothing. It was just very soothing to me. And then the prune juice was just beneficial because, like I said, you need something to help move your bowels. That is probably a must for everybody, because the anesthesia and all, it just kind of slows your body down and you have to get it working again. The other thing that I have on my list is, of course, pain meds that are going to be prescribed to you. Hopefully you will have someone with you after your surgery that will be able to help keep you on a schedule of when to take your medicine, because they're going to send you home with a schedule of when to take your medicine, how often. And so it's very helpful if you have someone that can set an alarm for you or can go and get your medicine for you when you need it, so that you stay on schedule of when to take your medicine, because you don't want to get off track, because then that's just going to make your pain. You're going to feel it more. So you definitely want to stay on track with your medicine. The other thing that I think would be very beneficial to you, if you're not going to have anyone that is going to be with you after your surgery, they sell these little things on Amazon, and I think they're called grabbers, and they're long, and then they have like almost like a little claw on the end, and you can just kind of hold that thing out if you drop something, and you can pick it up with the grabber. And I say that because if you're in the bed or on the couch and you happen to drop your remote control or anything that you need, it really does hurt to bend over. It really does hurt to bend over. And so if you have that little grabber thing, you can just kind of use that without having to do too much bending too early on that you don't want to do. So that's another thing. Definitely, that is really all that I have on my list of things that you need. Some other things that, are a given. You want to have your house clean before you go in for surgery. You want to have your house clean. And that was a big thing for me. I knew that when I went in for surgery that I was not going to be able to come home and clean and do the things like I wanted to do. So I went ham cleaning before my surgery day. I mean, of course you need your bed sheets and everything clean. You just want your house clean. You want things clean so that when you come home, that is not a worry, so that you're not up on day 3 of surgery trying to clean your house because company's coming over to see you. You don't need to be doing that. For one, your energy is not going to allow for it, and you're going to feel horrible if you try it. So do that before you go into surgery, or get somebody to do it for you. Just get your space like you want it before you come home. Other than that, I really cannot think of anything that I would say that you need to have or have to have. Those are the most important things. And then just patience. Be patient with yourself. It's going to take time for you to heal. And, prepare yourself to just look at plenty of TV or read books or, listen to podcasts, whatever your choice. Just get caught up on things that require you to be still for at least 3 to 4 weeks while you heal. Give your body time to heal. Like I said, I am going into week 11 post-op, and I feel really good. Like my energy is pretty much back. I can do whatever I want. I'm back to walking. I can probably walk 2 miles now on my treadmill, which I'm in my little exercise room now. You probably can see the top of my treadmill in my mirror there. But I can pretty much do whatever I want to do as far as walking. I have done a few sit-ups and that kind of thing, but very slowly, a few stretches and things. So even at week 11, things are still, you can still tell that you are still getting back. Your body is still doing what it does to get you back to 100%. It's definitely, it's a process. It takes time. And so even though, in our minds, it's like, okay, I had surgery, I'm good. Your body is still like, wait a minute, slow down. Don't do it as fast as you used to do it or whatever. So just know that even at week 11, probably even at week 12, don't be alarmed if you don't feel like, the next person said they felt or whatever. just give yourself time to heal. Okay. So that is really all that I have for you. If you have any questions for me, please put them in the comments. If you have any comments, leave them in the comments. I really enjoy your comments. Thank you for everyone who has subscribed to my channel. Thank you all for looking at my videos. I appreciate each and every one of you. And if you were going through this, getting ready to go through this surgery, I wish you well. You have my prayers. You're going to be fine. Just remember to ask God to be with you before you go in, and ask Him to give you a peace that surpasses all understanding, even your own, because that is what I had. I was just so peaceful with it, with going in. So anyway, like I said, I hope you have enjoyed this video, and until next time, be good.